Hi guys, so today I have a different tutorial for you, and this is actually a Christmas sort of inspired dramatic smoky eye. So I've gone for just a plain black smoky eye with a pop of gold on my lid and a nice dark wine berry sort of lip with a tiny bit of gloss. I will be filming more Christmas inspired looks for you, but as I know this won't be to everyone's taste, as it is a lot of makeup and it is very dramatic for some people, so I am aware of that and I will be filming different tutorials for you. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this tutorial, and if you'd like to know how I got this look then please carry on watching. So to start off, I've already applied my base and filled in my eyebrows and everything, and for my base I used the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation, and mine is in the shade medium 53, and then I mixed that with the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and that's in N155, and they're the shades I use when I'm fake tanned. So I'm just going to turn a light on so you can actually see what I'm doing. So to start off, I've already applied my MAC Painterly Paint Pot all over my eyelid. So what I'm going to do now is take my NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in the shade Sunny, and I'm just going to apply this into the crease as a transition shade. So next, using my little MAC quad, I'm taking the shade here which is called Red Brick, and I'm just going to apply this to the crease just to give it sort of like a warm effect to the eye, so it's not just all black and we've got something to like help blend out the black. And this really helps as it's a really sort of warm shade. Now that I've blended that all into my crease, I'm just going to take another fluffy brush just to go over it, just to make sure it's all seamless and blended. As the key to a smoky eye is just to keep blending really. That way you don't get any harsh lines and that way it's not messy. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take my Maybelline Eye Studio gel liner, and this is in Blackest Black, and I'm just going to apply this onto my lid with the brush from the Naked Free palette, and I'm just taking the smaller end of the brush. So I'm just packing that onto my lid. I'm then just grabbing a fluffy brush and I'm just going to blend that. Applying a bit more into the inner corner of my eye, and again I'm just going to blend that. And then just taking a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to grab my Naked 2 palette and use the shade Blackout, which is the dark matte black shade in the palette. I'm just going to apply that with the MAC 213 brush, and I'm just going to apply that onto that black gel liner just to deepen it up a bit. I'm just putting this on really messily as we're just going to blend that out. Just taking my MAC 217 blending brush and I'm just going to blend that out. I personally think that a smoky eye is probably the hardest look to do ever. A lot of makeup artists that I like watch on YouTube make it look easy. I'm then just going to take a bit more of that bronzer and just apply that above the black, just to help sort of fade it out a bit. This does look really messy, but I'm going to tidy it up in a minute. This is just so the shades sort of blend into each other. So before I clean this up, I'm just going to highlight my brow bone, and for that I'm using the Vice Free palette by Urban Decay, and I'm just taking the shade Bobby Dazzle, which is the shimmery white in the palette. I'm just applying that to my brow bone. Now I'm just going to conceal under my eyes just to sort of help tidy this mess up a bit. So for that I'm using my NYX HD concealer in the shade 02. Now I'm just grabbing my e.l.f. concealer brush and I'm just going to sort of take that concealer right next to sort of where my brow ends. So I'm just going to start cleaning up the eyeshadow from sort of there, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. And I'm just going to blend that in with my finger. Just taking my buffing brush and just sort of blending that in. And then the same on the other side. So once that's done, I'm just going to set that concealer in place, and I'm just using my Rimmel Stay Matte powder and the same buffing brush, just so that doesn't like move about whilst we're doing the rest of the eye. So you could just leave the eyes how they are and just apply some false lashes, but I want to go sort of all out, as I want this look to be so sort of intense and dramatic, sort of, you know, what you'd wear to like a Christmas party or whatever. I just want to add some glitter, as I think that would just look so cool. So I'm just taking my Barry M Fine Glitter Dust, and this is in the shade 10. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to grab my brush and I'm just going to dip my brush in the glitter, and as you can see it's this beautiful gold colour. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to grab my MAC Fix Plus spray and just wet my brush, just so I get the best sort of pigmentation out of this glitter. So then I'm just going to, on the middle of my eyelid, I'm just going to pack that on. And the further I go up sort of my eye, I'm just blending it into that black, just so we sort of blend them both together. And I'm just grabbing my MAC 217 blending brush again and just blending that in, just around the edges, just so it doesn't look like we've just plonked it on there. And that's that. Now I'm just going to take a bit of that black eyeshadow underneath my eyes, so I'm just going to grab the same brush we used earlier to apply the gel liner, and I'm just going to take that blackout shade again from the Naked 2 palette and just apply that to my lower lash line and just join that up there. I'm just going to blend that in using the other end of the brush. I'm just going to curl my eyelashes, and I'm just going to apply some gel liner. This is obviously optional, but I just do this so then it will help me apply my false lashes a bit easier. So I'm just using the same gel liner, the Maybelline one again, we applied before the black eyeshadow. So I'm just taking this as close to my lash line as I can get it. So now all I'm going to do is just apply some mascara just to prep my lashes for the false ones. Oh, and the mascara I'm using is the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Extreme Lash Multiplying Volume Mascara. And I'm just going to coat my bottom lashes with that as well. I just grabbed my foundation brush because I do have some eyeshadow on my nose and I'm just cleaning that up a bit. So I'm just going to be applying some false eyelashes, and the false lashes that I'm going to be applying are the Allure 202 lashes, and these are really voluminous and dramatic. I can't open the box. That's good then. The struggle of getting false eyelashes out of the box is unreal. Does anyone else find it this tough? Like, I always just feel like I'm going to rip them. Quick tip, when actually getting them like off the little thing that they're attached to, if there's any glue on them where they've been like pre-glued to the box thing, I just take my tweezers and I sort of just run it along the lash. That way I don't snap the lash off, and I'm just gluing them with the Revlon Precision Dark lash adhesive, and this is waterproof as well. I'm not actually going to be applying a wing, as I think the eyes as they are is dramatic enough without applying like a massive wing, so that is why I'm not doing winged liner today. It's a first for me. So now I'm waiting for my lash glue to go tacky. I'm just going to highlight my face, and I'm just going to use a bit of the Hard Candy Glamouflage Heavy Duty Concealer under my eyes, and you literally just need the tiniest amount of this. A little amount goes far. I'm just going to blend that in with my finger. This is actually probably the thickest concealer I've ever used, but I love it. So it's really thick, it's really creamy in consistency. As this concealer is very light, I only apply it underneath my eyes and nowhere else on my face, because I'd end up looking like a ghost. For the rest of my face, I'm just going back to my NYX HD concealer, and I'm just taking that on my chin, my Cupid's bow, and a little bit on my forehead and down the bridge of my nose. I'm just blending that in with a domed brush from eBay. So once that's all blended in, I'm just going to pop my false eyelashes on. So as you can tell, they just sort of give a bit more oomph to the eyes, whereas this eye doesn't have a lash on yet. So you could go for a more natural lash than these, obviously, with this look. I think the Demi Wispies by Odell would be really, really pretty with this. So now I've applied my lashes, I'm just going to contour my face. And I'm going to go for quite a heavy sort of contour and blush, as I want this to be a really like dramatic full-on look. I'm just taking my NYC bronzer again out on my NARS Vita brush. And with contouring, you always want to blend upwards and not downwards, as otherwise that defeats the whole point of contouring anyway. My temples. And I'm just going to contour my nose. Just going to take this bronzer around the sides of my face just to slim my face down even more. So that's the contour done. For blush, I'm going to use my favourite blush of life, and that is the Milani Luminoso blush. And I'm going to be applying that using the MAC 129 blush brush, I think this is. I think this blush goes beautifully with this look because it just sort of complements the warm tones in the eye. So that's the blush. And also I wanted to go for something quite warm on the cheeks, as the eyes are sort of really black and dull. Obviously we had the pop of gold on the lid, but yeah. Now for highlight, I'm using my beautiful Bobbi Brown highlight powder, and this is in the shade Bronze Glow. And I'm just applying that to my cheekbones with a Real Techniques contour brush. Down the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, a bit on my chin, and a tiny bit on my forehead. I literally think that is the most beautiful highlighter I've ever used. So for the lips, you could go quite nude with this, or you could go really bold. Personally, I would probably go with the nude, just because I don't find that red lipstick suits me as well as the nude lipstick. So the lipstick I'm going to be pairing with this is the YSL Beige Tribute number 10, and this is a pinky nude. And I just wanted to use something really luxurious, as it is Christmas time, and I absolutely love the packaging on this lipstick. So this is the nude. I'm just going to apply a gloss on top of that, and I'm just using the NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. So that's the nude combination. And for the girls that like to wear a darker lip, I'm going to be using MAC's Diva lipstick, and it's just a dark winey red shade. I'm just going to apply that. A lip liner that you could actually pair with this, just to darken up a bit, would be MAC's Night Moth, but I'm just going to apply the lipstick and see how we get on. I find darker lipsticks so hard to apply. My lips aren't that pigmented, so it's so hard to see where my natural lip line actually is. So that's the lipstick. I'm just going to tidy up a bit with the lip liner, I think, as I'm so bad at applying dark lipsticks, you wouldn't believe. So this is the dark lips. So what I'm going to suggest with this is that you could actually put a gloss on top of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nude gloss that I have and use a lip brush, as I don't actually have an actual clear gloss. So this is MAC's Cream Sheen Glass in the shade Boy Bait. This is the colour. It's like a nudie pinky. I'm just taking my lip brush. I'm just going to apply a bit of that gloss to my lip brush, and all I'm going to do is just apply this into the middle of my lip, as Diva is a really matte lipstick. So this is just a cheap and easy way to gloss up your matte lipstick if you don't want to go out and buy a glossy sort of dark lipstick. If that made any sense. This also gives sort of like an ombre effect to your lips as well, which is really cool. So that's the glossy lips. As you want your makeup to last all night long, if you're dancing or at a party or at clubbing or at your Christmas party, I'm just going to apply the Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray. This is the oil control one. Again, I'm so sorry about the lighting. There's literally nothing I can do to make it any brighter, and the settings on my camera won't change to make it brighter, which is a bit crap. I'm literally sat right next to the brightest light I have in my house and it's still not bright enough. Yeah, so this is the finished makeup look. Okay guys, so that's it for this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget, if you try out this look at home, then please don't forget to tag me on Instagram and on Twitter. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm really sorry about the lighting, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I did film this video at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it was basically pitch black. So if you have any video requests, as always, then please leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Or as I said in my previous video, you could just message me on Twitter or on Instagram. I really hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Christmas and take care. Bye! Look what my mum got me. Oh my god, I'm gonna go and eat this now. Bye!